10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Guys One Gamepad podcast. My name is Sig, and this is Rahgel here with me tonight, and we're doing a gaming slash entertainment podcast, and really going to just be discussing and talking about all sorts of items and subjects and categories within the gaming and entertainment field. So it could be streaming, movies, music, but mostly gaming is what we're focusing on. Tonight is our very first episode, very first podcast. And we're going to talk about some previously released games in February, upcoming games in March. We're going to do a ranking segment on movies. We'll figure out how many, but we're going to do that as well. And then just kind of talk about everything that's happening inside the gaming industry. So let's start with who we are and, a little bit about ourselves. I'm going to let Rahgel go first on this one. So, Rahgel. Tell everybody about
What's up,
yourself.
everybody? I'm Rahgel. I go by Rahgel on Twitch. I've been streaming for a little over a year and a half. Very minimal on the games that I play. Do a lot of Warzone, things like that, anything military. Do some dabbling War Thunder, a couple other games, Fallout Guys when I hate my life. But for the most part, prior military, 9 years National Guard. Deployments, one to Iraq, one Afghanistan. So good times there. Met a lot of good people. And decided to take a shot at gaming and met some even cooler people doing that. And now doing the podcast, ready for it, and we're going to get into it. I'm excited.
We're attempting to do a podcast.
Yes, that too.
All right. So, like I said at the top of this, my name is Sig. I've streamed on all the platforms. I've done Facebook, Twitch, DLive, Twitter, even, and some other off ones. And right now, YouTube is where I call home. You can find me literally underneath the 6 hour. I'll plug, if you're watching this in video, I'll put the animations up. Otherwise, just go to YouTube, the 6 hour, or go to Twitch and Rahgel. That's Rahgel.
Got it.
Yeah, that. And we'll put it in the description as well, y'all. And I've been streaming on and off for a little over 5 years, 6 years. But just serious within the last 2 years, starting off at Twitch and moving over to YouTube at the top of this year, 2022. Prior military myself as well, kind of like Rahgel, but not a grunt. I'm, the bougie branch. I'm Air Force, nice chairs. I did intelligence, though, so I was networking signals. I would never see Battleground. Physically, I would see it via drum. But yeah, huge into gaming and been doing this for decades. God, that hurts to say. I've been playing since the 90s. God, we're old.
It's one of those things you do since you're little, though. And the way we grew up, we had so many different ones. We had my first one was, what did I start out with? I started out with Atari. We'll get into that at a later time. Whole nother hill to die on. Just for that one.
Just for that.
Hate that game.
Yeah, it was a different time. Yours was Atari. The first one, I remember my parents buying, because of course, child, no money. Was we had a Nintendo. I remember having family members who had Atari, and we played Atari, and even Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I'm trying to think of I can't even think of the Commodore. There we go. So, played a bunch of old ones. So now we're on PC.
You're on PC. That Air Force
I
money.
have money.
Exactly. The Air Force money you rock with.
Sir, I am out of the military now. It's my graphic design money and my freelancing programming money. Okay, so.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that too. That's what I meant.
Because of the Air Force.
Air Force.
I had a lot of downtime in between missions.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got
A
your
lot.
masters in between missions, so that works.
Man, you didn't get my shut up. Gave up after bachelor's. That was enough stupid school for me. All right, so let's kind of get into it tonight, and of course, everyone, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok underneath Two Guys One Gamepad. You can follow us over on Twitter as well, but it's at Two Gamepad. We're working on getting our handle back from an inactive account, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, they stole it from us from 7 years ago. Okay, I'm working on it.
This has been the process for many years.
Feels like it. So
Say one time in a McDonald's and somebody takes it.
Probably. God damn, some fucker did that. This is not a PG friendly show, by the way.
Not at all. Put the kids to bed.
Yeah, like we said, we're military. He's active military. I'm military veteran, military lineage, and yeah, there's nothing PG about me. Not even really PG-13. Yeah. All right.
So things might get a little weird.
It's pretty normal for me, but weird for you listeners. But it's okay. Trust me, it'll be fine. For the most part. All right, so let's get into it. You said your game that you're into right now is Call of Duty. Is it Warzone or Vanguard?
It's Warzone. I mean, Vanguard is one of the engines that they run on Warzone, and it's garbage. It's absolute trash. The game is trash. Cold War was trash. I mean, Modern Warfare when that came out, that was the better one. But now with everything they have going on, engines are not working as they should. But it's still playable in my eyes. It's enjoyable. So I have fun with it.
Vanguard or Warzone's enjoyable because
Warzone's enjoyable because Vanguard is not.
Well, there
really
hasn't
the
been
game mode's on Warzone.
There hasn't been decent Call of Duty since I think Black Ops 2 was probably the last decent one. And it was good, but still had some issues. But I don't think there's a decent one after that coming to mind.
The Modern Warfare that just came out, or no, it's not came out. It's like over a year ago.
2 years
bad.
Yeah. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like great. It definitely felt more of a slapping duct tape on something that already existed, and it's just barely getting by.
Yeah, but now with the Microsoft acquisition of Activision and Blizzard, I mean that's.
We'll get into that one. I promise. That's on my agenda list over here. We'll get into that one. I have shit to say about that one, but the good stuff.
Yeah,
and some bad.
I think only good is probably going to come out of it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
don't see too much bad out of it.
That Activision CEO was just trash.
Yes.
Let's just call it as he was trash. He should, yeah. Get into it later. You're gonna have tangents in this podcast. Let's take a quick break. There's gonna be tangents in this podcast. I have ADHD, really bad. I'm pretty sure he does too. So, if not diagnosed, he has it. I promise.
Sorry, I'm looking at shiny objects.
Me too. You have a glare on your TV. Keeps catching my eye. Don't move your camera. It's looking at me.
You're yelling at me. You're not my dad.
Supervisor. God, Archer. All right. Anyways, let's.
You want ants? That's how you get ants.
All right. Let's talk about these games that have recently came out. I will throw Warzone in there because that they just did a massive update in that like January or December time frame, right?
Yeah. That's when
like,
the new one came out. So
well,
Rebirth has been on it for a while.
Okay.
The new season where they put the new map, the Caldera map that they just put in. That's the one that they just put in that everybody's kind of raging over. They're not fans of it. I'm not a fan of it. I'll play Rebirth. It's mainly what I play now.
I have not touched Warzone in over a year now. Like, that game absolutely just pisses me off to no extent.
That's the fun of why I like it.
I will go play Elden Ring or Dark Souls if I want to just be completely rage-induced pissed off for the night.
I've heard nothing but horrible things about Elden Ring.
I know, but it's so fun.
I've heard about the keybinds and the crashing and everything else with that game. Because that's a new one this month, right? That one just came out recently?
Yeah, that one actually just came out on February 25th. So, I mean, literally just a few days ago, a week ago. That one's definitely one of those like if you love Dark Souls, and I do mean that in like its entire essence. If you like Dark Souls and love to just be whipped to death and or you're into BDSM, I mean that's the game for you. That game will just punish you left and right. It's it's fun, but yeah, like you were saying, there's a huge or not huge. That's an overstatement. There is some issues with key binding and the system itself, where a lot of people are finding more success, PC wise, are finding more success with controllers to fix that issue, while some console players, from what I'm understanding, still having issues as well with their key binding being mapped properly to the controls. I don't play console, so I have no reference point for that at all. I'm just going off what I read and what I hear about from other gamers and streamers. So
Yeah, and I've heard the same thing. It's a lot of guys are complaining about the key bindings, and some other guys are having issues with it, just crashing their PC altogether, like the blue screen of
yeah,
death, everything too. So, and that
I
just makes
would.
you want to go out and get it right now.
My dumbass pre-ordered it. I don't pre-order games too often. I think I pre-order maybe one or two a year, and there's only one other game. I guess two, because I pre-ordered Destiny 2, Witch Queen, which came out back on February 22nd. But I mean, Elden Ring was one of those like I had a lot of high hopes, kind of like Cyberpunk, just high hopes beyond belief for it, and then I'm not upset with it because I'm not experiencing like the blue screen, but I did just upgrade my entire PC where where like I now have 128 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. I needed it for my graphics. Okay, I'm a graphic
Yeah, sure.
designer.
That's uh-huh.
It was
There you
not.
go.
It was not rendering my videos. I needed more memory, and Newegg had to sell. Okay, shut up.
That's fine. You drive a Jag too.
No, I drive a Hyundai Elantra and Sonata because I'm a cheap ass. I don't give a shit about
Mm.
cars.
Your PC.
Hey, I built it. Okay, shut up. I built it before all the issues with freaking game parts in
All the backlog of things stuck
parts
on
and
boats.
costs and all that shit. Yeah. Well, not even just that, just the increase of price too. Like
Oh yeah.
it was 2.6 of DDR4, and that was normally before all these up costs, I could get it for about 150, $200. I didn't get it for too much more. I think I got it for like 224, but its retail cost they were selling it for was over 400, and I only got it because they had a seller and had a coupon for Newegg. Literally the only reason why I got it for just over 200.
Maybe with a coupon, you might as well get two of them.
Well, no, you had to buy the pack, like it was a double pack.
I'll see ya.
Yeah, so it was.
You're a coupon cutter. It's okay.
Yeah. How do you think we stay rich in the Air Force? God, we hoard everything.
It's all
like
handed out to
coupons.
you.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No, not at all. I mean, you get
I
more
don't
pay
see
for
the
being
flaw.
get
I don't
extra
see the flaw.
payment if your floor doesn't have carpet on it. I understand.
To be fair, okay.
Yeah. To be
We're
fair.
completely off of gaming right now, but I want to address that, okay? Because like I was stationed in Ramstein, Germany, and I was stationed in Old World War II barracks, and we had a couple other branches in there with us, and I literally saw like a very small increase of pay, like $30 extra a pay week, so every 2 weeks or first and 15, sorry, and I inquired about it because you get paid extra in the military. You need to find out why, so where you don't get that money taken from you just randomly 6 years down the road. And they're like, actually, we've been overpaying you. We want that $6,000 back.
Right now.
I didn't do it. You fucked up your job. I'm not in that department. Your fault.
Mm.
But literally, they're like, oh yeah, it's because you live in a World War II bunker, and there may be black mold or asbestos, or it's a hazard. Why are we still
Oh yeah,
living
sure.
here? Why are we still
Uh,
living here? Well, because
Or as we're in the back over there burning our own
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
It's okay.
it was
We
fun. I
have black
enjoyed it.
mold. We're
It's fine, whatever. Made me stronger.
I mean,
Maybe I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
get sick a
I
lot.
don't
That's why I blame it on.
don't either. That's very odd. It's because all the shots and everything I got as a
Yeah.
private going in.
All
They didn't
right,
ask
pull
any
your pants
questions.
down. to your butt cheeks, expose it. Okay, this is peanut butter. What's in it? Don't worry. It's penicillin,
Yep.
something else.
With the old man, with the old man and Meps, and maybe crawl or duck walk.
Everybody
That
had
was
an old
awesome.
man at Maps. Everybody had an old man at Maps. Everybody.
I think that's the job title, though.
No, thank you. You're too creepy. It's gonna be a guy. If it has to be a guy, can I get a younger guy? That's all I'm asking. I want to be able to tell the wrinkles apart. Anyway, I just want to address that because that's legitimately happened, so I can't bash that comment. Um, but have you played Destiny 2 at all since Witch Queen came out?
No, I haven't, but I've actually watched some people play it. I've got some friends of mine that play it, so I have
Oh
some
my god,
things.
dude, that game, or Witch Queen itself, the DLC has been a massive overhaul of the entire game. Like from how you acquire currency to how you acquire reputation. With Vanguard or Banshee or the Crucible or uh, excuse me, or any of them. It's all changed now. It's a lot better. Uh, the story is fantastic. You're now facing Hive Guardians, which they're so fucking hard. But you have two modes now that you can play on. You can play on literally normal mode, where you can kind of glide through it and beat the story, or you can play on, I think they call it Legacy or Legendary, where it just the entire game is set on fucking hard. But you have great rewards. Like you have a lot better rewards throughout the whole game. But you definitely should be playing with other people, or else you get your ass wiped royally. Like just stupid amounts.
I mean, it seems like one of those games that if you can do stuff on your own, but it plays better when you're in a group. What I've gathered.
Yeah, if you have a constructed group, I will say that.
Mm.
Not a random group, because I play with randoms on like Crucible and Gambit, which is PvP mode, and it's a shit. Like sometimes it's great, sometimes it's trash. But if I play with a team that I actually know, then it's a lot more fun. But the improvements are just outstanding inside of everything. From your supers now have a different or your abilities, sorry, now have different subcategories, whereas you used to have three. Now you can actually manipulate all of it to choose what you want. They've updated everything. um, Speaking of PvP, if you play it, Gambit is it's PvP with PvE, so player versus player and player versus environment, for anybody who doesn't know that listening. um, so you start off in PvE, but you can invade the other side occasionally to go kill the guardians and have them lose moats and have to start over, or boss gains health. Um, but it used to be where your power weapon, your heavy weapon, you could only collect ammo on it every about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, and only one person could collect. And that was the biggest issue, was you would get one round of heavy ammunition or one clip of heavy ammunition, and everybody else would be just fucked. And now they made it where you actually have heavy ammunition crates drop every 3 to 5 minutes around the map, so where everybody can go get in, everybody can join in. But then they beefed up the boss where you have to destroy enclaves to actually kill the boss at all now. So goods and bads, but I mean it's definitely a fun game, and it's free. The Witch Queen is not. That one you do have to pay for. So definitely
They just made it
fun
free,
game.
didn't they? Because it's
Yeah.
what's like the last couple of months has been free.
It's been free for a little over a year now. You used
Yeah.
to only get up to like the DLC before whatever was out. So Beyond Light was last DLC, and used to get everything up to Forsaken. And now you get
Okay.
Forsaken for free, and I believe Beyond Light as well, but you have to pay for Witch Queen, which again is not a bad deal. Witch Queen itself sure is $60, but it's still a fantastic deal. If you've played Destiny 1, Witch Queen makes you kind of feel more like Destiny 1, where it was actually amazing, and before Activision put their stupid hands on it and fucked the game up for years. So, but it's a good game. I would recommend it. Like I said, if you check out our website, retroveteranmedia.com, and go to the game reviews, you can see, I mean, I think I gave it 7 or 8 out of 10, maybe a 6. I don't remember. I think 7. I think 7. I have to pull up the site, but all just simply for the fact that like you can tell Bungie is truly like you know dedicated to fixing all these issues that Activision either caused or didn't allow them to fix. So it's a great
Didn't
game.
Bungie just get bought too, though?
They did by Sony.
Sony bought Bungie, right? Okay.
So technically, they're in the process of buying them out, and same with Activision Blizzard is being acquired by Microsoft, but that one has to go through the FCC approval because it's such a massive company. Bungie, I don't believe they have to get any approval. They just can be absorbed, and they're still working on that from what Bungie has announced. But Sony, Bungie technically, but Sony has announced that Destiny 2 will still be on all platforms no matter what, and there will be no exclusive content to just PlayStation, which is good, but I kind of wish they would introduce not necessarily like game exclusivity, but like in-game content that maybe you can get this emote or you can get this weapon or you can get early access to this weapon. Something kind of like I hope Microsoft does with Call of Duty and other Activision games where the game is still cross-platform. You can still get everything on all consoles, but you can get it earlier on Xbox. Kind of like how Call of Duty used to do it back in the day, even a few years ago, where PlayStation got early access and then Xbox. I mean, that's just my opinion. I hated it because I was a PlayStation user, but then I bought an Xbox and I don't care. But either way, I mean, something like that would give them an edge, definitely. Of well, if I can have 3 weeks early to this SMG or this rocket or this skin, why not? Or even if it's a discounted rate, like something to just kind of give them an edge.
At a discounted rate, though, I still can't believe like the DLCs and everything. If you're downloading a game, you're still paying 60-some bucks, and it's not even getting a hard disk.
So okay, I saw somebody post
ridiculous.
about this. Okay, I will agree, it's ridiculous to a degree. However, when you talk about how much time the developers and the studio puts into creating the game, let's throw Call of Duty out the window because for the most part, it's just painting a new pig a different shade of red every year. But you talk about really any other game that comes out every other year or every few years, I can fully justify $60 because it takes them years and years and years to develop it, and they're truly either starting from ground zero or they're manipulating over 60% of the original game to suit their needs now. But I would not agree to $60 for like Call of Duty, let alone the expansions for most of these games are still $60 as well. Like that's the part like I can't justify. But I know from working at like places like Best Buy where we used to get a discount of 10% above purchase. So whenever Best Buy would acquire the product for, wherever their wholesale value was, we would pay 10% above it. And a lot of video games came in right around like the $45 to $48 what Best Buy pays per copy to have it. So we would pay like 50, 52. So I mean, a few extra dollars to pad somebody else's pocket isn't as big of a deal, but nowadays that we have full digital is, I think, what was the last statistic I saw? Well over 30% of all video games are purchased digitally now. And then you have Microsoft, which is even higher because of Game Pass alone. Like, it's going to get to the point where you're not going to buy a hard copy anymore. You're just going to go and buy the DLC, or the digital copy. The only reason why you buy a hard copy anymore would be for like those momentums you have behind you. That'd really be the only justification you have anymore, because it's.
But if I don't take my ass out in the car to go buy a game, then I'm gonna just sit here and just say, yes, I'll buy it right here. Click it, yes.
Well, even that. I mean, think about it from this way though. So you go out and you buy a game, you buy the hard copy. It's still going to take you 100 gigabytes to download, or you can just download the game and still take 100 gigabytes to download. So like, the only thing you get is a CD that could potentially scratch and be damaged, and then you're SOL because you don't get the digital rights to it. You just get the physical rights to it. So once your CD is broken or damaged or you trade it in, that licensing is disconnected from your console. You can't play anymore. So why are we still purchasing hard copies when digital guarantees me I can log onto this computer, I could give you my logins, and you could play all my games. I could hop on my place. Like, there's no, you can't fully justify hard copies anymore. So
Oh, so it's all cloud based at that point.
yeah, I mean, and that's what they're
No
all
way.
working towards. And I think once they go full cloud, they can't get away with $60 anymore. I think they'll have to bump it down to like 40, and then maybe say the full package is 60 for like the legendary edition or the ultimate edition, whatever they want to call it, because it's too damn high now.
Oh yeah, with the
So,
add-ons and DLCs, they could
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I mean, like, there's some games like Fortnite and Warzone and Apex and Valorant, a lot of those battle royales that are free, but there's in-game content which you can purchase that has no impact to the game itself. It's just, here's a cool skin, here's a weapon skin, here's a background. Fortnite. So
I can't even start on that game. I think I've invested not myself, my kids have invested way too much into that game for my credit card and everything else.
oh yeah,
I can't understand it.
I I literally got a free $10 Fortnite gift card from Epic Game Store because I downloaded one of their games, and they were having a deal where when you purchase a game, you got $10 off your next one. But there's one game that's like, here's a $10 in-game store credit for Fortnite. I was like, well, fuck. I don't really play Fortnite, but okay.
You're gonna give me money for it, I guess I can.
Oh yeah, I literally re-downloaded it like the next day. I was like, well, what do I want? I'll just use in-game currency. That's fine. Boop. There you go. You got 700 tokens. That's it.
Exactly.
What? The ratio's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Exactly what it is. It's all. I mean,
I'm just saying the
They were
old days
fists
you
in that
didn't
game.
have that. Old days you didn't have DLCs. Old days you didn't have in-game purchases. You got the game was complete, or it sucked ass.
Exactly. And you dealt with it.
Well, yeah, you bitch and complain to everybody because it sucked ass. Yeah.
Hmm.
Just how
You
it
spent
rolled.
at that time, I think, what, $50?
40
A
to
new
50.
game for 49. Yeah.
Yep. Depending upon what, because they actually fluctuate. So like you could get a PlayStation 1 game could cost you anywhere from like $30 upwards to 50, but they all fluctuate. It wasn't a flat rate of all games were 50. It's Gex maybe $30, and then you go get Digimon, and it could be 40. So I'm just.
But then you have they run some of their greatest hits and stuff too that you get for $20, which were normally decent games, but
yeah,
and nowadays it's just.
They did it with Aladdin and The Lion King. And I feel like one other game was included in that one, and it was still, I think that one was like $30 or $40. You got the old school Aladdin.
Sega style.
Yeah,
They're still great games.
Oh yeah, I have them. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying they went up more than what they were upon purchasing back then. So, just my opinion. So the other games that came out in February. And stop me if you play these. I've only played a couple of these. Life is Strange, the remaster edition. That one came out at the beginning of February. I never played that series. I've heard good things, but I've never played it.
It's not either.
Dying Light 2, fantastic game. Play it, see people stream it and play it, and it's a good game. Definitely not one I can get into. Like, I can't spend just hours and hours and lose myself in it.
At the time, I can't. If I had the time, I could easily lose my life in many of these games that came out. But
yeah.
At the time.
Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires came out on February 15th. Again, Dynasty Warriors in general is just a great franchise. I can't
Dynasty Warriors came. I didn't know that came out.
Yeah, February 15th. Empires.
Did it come out?
Yeah.
Know that?
I'm looking. It literally says big title releases in February 2022. Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. So, but yeah,
I'm about to look for that one because they're great. We grew up playing those ones.
I haven't played this one, but I have played the past ones, and they've all been great. I don't think I have anything negative at all to say about it. King of Fighters 15 came out on February 17th. I have not been a fan of that at all.
Oh,
I got food. Go away, doggy. Go away, doggy. But like, I've never been a fan of King of Fighters. It feels. I know it came out before Tekken technically did, but
Mm.
sorry, before Tekken technically did. It's just I never been big into that game at all. But then you have Horizon Forbidden West. That's the big PlayStation one.
yes, and I've debated on that one. I still haven't done it, but I have seen some gameplay on it, and it looks decent. I haven't heard really any reviews on it yet.
I've watched people play it, and I'm kind of torn where I feel like it's trying to be something it's not. But if you take it at its face value and you just disregard really everything, it looks like a decent game, but not one I am going to spend $60-$70 on anytime soon. I mean, I also don't play my PlayStation too much either. So,
I mean, if you're not gonna play that, then yeah.
yeah. Well, and you can play the first one on PC right now. So, and then
That's the Air Force thing though.
it's the Steam thing. Steam released it. Fucking Air Force. Sifu, that one I've heard a lot of like great reviews about and great
Yes.
things, but I have not played it. I've watched a bunch of gameplay and it looks just phenomenal. Like it's definitely gonna be a game of the year contestant easily this year. Just amazing graphics and story. Let's see. Monarch came out. I don't know anything about that game. Just gonna be frank. Don't know anything about it. Not something that caught my eye at any of the releases or the presses. And then Saints Row came back out February 25th.
Is that a remake or is it
I
re-release?
I want to say it's a re-release because that's all I'm really finding about February 25th release of Saints Row. I'm not really finding anything about like if it's restarting over or if it's the OG. So um,
I mean,
if
Saints Row
it's
wasn't bad.
wasn't great, it was a cheesy knockoff of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
So, but I mean that's just kind of my opinion on those games that came out. So I'm more excited too. Honestly, what's coming out in March? Got a few games coming out and DLCs. I guess I should announce DLCs.
Yeah, the DLCs.
So let's see. Just gonna because now I'm hyper focused. Now we're just gonna do the new releases. So we have Babylon's Fall comes out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC on March 3rd. This is supposed to be a really good game. So that came out today. March 3rd. That came out today. So that is supposed to be a really good game. I haven't seen any gameplay of it. I've seen IGN's review, but unfortunately, I take their reviews kind of with a grain of salt because a lot of the reviews seem padded. So you may like this one, Gran Turismo. Is that your type of game? It's a car game.
We did play like the original Gran Turismos, and I do like how like technical you can get with the cars, and I mean you can get down to drift adjust and everything else in those games. It's really technical, but again, that's another game you have to have time to really spend and get into it that way. If you have the time, then yeah, it's an awesome game. I hope it's just as good as the ones in the past have been. I think it's a PlayStation 5 release, though, isn't it?
Yeah, PS5 and PS4.
What's a PS4 also? Well, then,
So a lot of these games, I'm actually going to double back to Horizon Forbidden West because this is exclusive to PlayStation. A lot of PlayStation games right now are being told do not purchase as a PS5 game. Purchase a PS4 because one, it's cheaper, and then two, you get a digital upgrade for free. So,
wow.
what was his name again? Horizon Forbidden West was the one that kind of published it, where the PS5 edition is like $70, and you can get the same copy for PS4 for $50 or $60. I want to say 60, and then you get the digital upgrade to PS5. So now you have dual copy of the PS4 and PS5. So I mean,
It's just pretty cool though that they're doing that.
I think they have to
It's
with how
yeah.
bad the back stocks are still the PS5.
Oh
But Gran
yeah,
Turismo will be one of them too. That's you get a free digital upgrade.
it's cool though.
Let's see. I don't know anything about this game, but Triangle Strategy for the Nintendo Switch comes out on March 4th, tomorrow. Uh, ooh, I'm excited for this one. Didn't pre-order it though. Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Dawn of Ragnarok. This is supposed to be like a big game changer for the entire Assassin's Creed story that's going on. So
It's one game that I've wanted to play and never have, but it looks like it's intense and I want
it's
to, but I haven't dove into it and I don't know where to start. I don't know if I have to go back and start
you
obviously
don't
on PlayStation 4 or just
you
start
don't
with the newest one.
these new ones nowadays you really don't have to know jack shit about the prior series because it's going to educate you about what's happened either in the past or it'll give you hints to what's going to happen because a lot of these games take place before the original, some of them take place way ahead. It's not all in the same linear timeline anymore, so you literally are jumping around from century to century. uh, the only thing that stays consistent is uh, what's the system they use? Damn it. The thing that
I have a
allows
PlayStation 4.
not that, the in game you use a system, your character uses a system to be transported back as the assassin. Um, I know it too. It's on the tip of my tongue. Whatever. Anyways, like you could pick up Valhalla and be fine and just kick ass at it. You don't need no jack about anything else. The controls are amazing, the graphics are amazing, the story is just amazing. And there was a DLC that was supposed to come out later this year for Valhalla and won't now because it'll be turned into its own game completely.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to. Uh, I'm gonna skip this next one because I kind of want to actually talk about it. So we have Grand Theft Auto 5. Seriously, Grand Theft Auto 5. Fuck the price.
They
Seriously,
are
it's
not going to
coming out
let
for
go of
PS5.
that.
No, it's gonna be like Skyrim. New console, re-release. Fuck that. Tunic
That
is
game
coming out.
came out, what, 2 years ago?
Grand Theft Auto 5?
When did 5 come out?
I bet you. I had a feel this game came out. I feel like it's been out for several years now.
13. Damn, almost 10 years.
It came out in 2013?
Up to September 17th, 2013.
Yeah, see? Skyrim all over again. Oh my god.
I mean, good on them if they can push this thing almost 10 years and still not have to change anything. Because I mean, you see what they're doing online with it. What
Yeah,
they're
the
doing,
online is really what's keeping it alive, though.
it's
But
crazy what they're doing. I mean, there's people that are living a whole different life
yeah,
on GTA with
there's some crazy shit happening
different personas
on
and everything that
online.
they're doing.
So,
I mean, it's people are being gang members and people are being police and everything
dude,
like that on there. It's crazy.
it made headlines. God, how many months ago? GTA 5 made headlines because there was somebody who got married inside the game and they got divorced inside the game, and I don't know if it was husband, wife, whatever, but the couple wanted the other to pay for the entire purchases of all in-game content, and they went to legit court. Then there was somebody who unfortunately got murdered over the game because stupid people.
Then they go to court in the game. Take it
No,
to court in the game.
no, they like fucking in real life. It was kind of like I don't know if you remember World of Warcraft. 2006, 7 time frame. There was a huge court case or semi-huge court case because people met up in real life because they met in World of Warcraft, got married, but then they lived completely separate still because they lived their life entirely in World of Warcraft. And when they decided to get a divorce or whatever, it was nasty fallout, and it was all about he or she had to pay for all these downloads, all this gold and everything. It was just like it was kind of a big deal inside World of Warcraft.
It's a whole different world there too. People
Tunic,
lose their lives in that game.
yeah, we do. I used to play it
Yes, we do.
really heavy.
Oh man, I've seen people they've missed work because they forgot
Yeah.
they had to go in.
Yeah. Henry
Out raiding and
Cavill
everything else.
he missed his Superman his Superman audition because he was playing World of Warcraft and he was raiding a dungeon, and he got a call and he ignored it, and then he answered his voicemail and it was like his agent or whatever. I don't remember the whole story, but I just remember like he got a little bit of trouble because like, what were you doing? Oh, I was in World of Warcraft raiding. We're almost done. I'm not giving up on this. Like, it's a real thing.
This is my life.
So Tunic comes out on Xbox and PC. I don't know much about this game.
Mm.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimates. PS4, Switch, PC. I'm not holding my breath on that one since that's an older console specifically, and it's on a Switch as well. Stranger, this is the big one that's supposed to be game changer as well. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. This is supposed to be a big game inside of the Final Fantasy series. I don't personally like that series. I said what I said. I'm not holding anything back. I think the series sucks.
I'll sleep when you talk about Final Fantasy.
We'll save it for another one.
The worst game ever made.
Yeah. Like I said, if we did a
Final
game, I would rank that in like a sin against the community, but that's just me being over dramatic about it.
Gameplay sucks. The fighting sucks. It's so boring.
Yeah. I'm not
I
gonna
get roasted for it, but yeah, no, we've agreed on that one. It's horrible.
Ghostwire Tokyo comes out for PlayStation 5 and PC. I'm excited for this one. Kirby and the Forgotten Land comes out on Switch. Not even gonna lie, it looks good. I'm not a Kirby fan though, and I still am like.
It's a nostalgia thing, though. I think.
Maybe. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I think it's what it is. I mean, it's one of those old remake games that are solid when you played them on Nintendo or Game Boy.
Sure. This one I'm really excited for. I haven't decided if I'm gonna pre-order or I'll probably just let it ride out and see how it plays out because I have high hopes, but I feel like I'm gonna get burned on it. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It's Tiny Tina from Borderlands. I don't know if you played that series, but she has her own game and she's essentially playing a completely different version of D&D, but in game. So it's her with a cast of Borderland people, and you're playing their characters inside this tabletop game. And she's the dungeon master essentially. So it's all the stories, all the trailers, concept. All looks hilarious, and I love Borderland franchise, so I'm excited for this one. Crusaders King 3 comes out. I don't care. Death Stranding Director's Cut comes out on PC later this month. Not excited for it, really don't care. The one I want to kind of double back on, because I totally skipped it on purpose, and again, this is more of a nostalgia thing for me. I played all the original ones, and they've all been good up until they went to the 2K series. And you can give me shit all you want, I don't give a fuck. WWE 2K22.
Yes. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Those games are great.
They were great. The last few, again, have not. Since they went 2K, they've been struggle bus.
That's true.
Especially 2K20 was just trash. But that game comes out on March 11th. Unless you pre-order the Deluxe or NWO series, then you get it on the 8th. You get 3 days early.
Okay.
But this game has, I don't want to say it's revolutionized its series, but it definitely has, because they're bringing back GM mode. And I've seen so many hateful comments about that. Why are you playing a wrestling game, but you're not wrestling? Because sometimes you just want to be the GM, and you want to control and manipulate everything. And you actually, it's a huge upgrade. I don't know if you've played the original GM mode when it was SmackDown versus Raw. I think it's the last time they had it. But you now have to worry about, your cash flow, your superstars' morale. You have to worry about legit injuries. You have to worry about ratings. You have to worry about your venues, everything. It all comes down to nickel and diming everything. You have a legitimate draft too, where you can draft any superstar. You can work and run the Raw show, SmackDown show, NXT UK, and possibly one more is in the works. So that series is just that mode alone is one of the reasons why I'm yes, pre-ordering that fucker.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get shit for GM modes, there's a lot of guys that do coaches mode and everything else on Madden
Yeah.
and stuff too. So it's similar, but it's definitely enjoyable. I mean, the games always been fun.
Yeah. Then they've redone the whole map, the key binding and mapping, so you no longer just like dodge and or not dodge, block is still a key, but instead of just like instantly reversing it, you now have a reversal button, you have a block button, a dodge button, and a duck button. So now you feel
So
more
they made it more
organic.
complex.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, complex, but still like organic, where it
Yeah.
feels more natural. And
Yeah.
then you can actually control where your guy goes via a joystick or key mapping on your keyboard. So, like, if you want to drag somebody or you have them in a headlock and you want to drag them to the corner, you used to have to like struggle to do that. Now it's just going to be a
Mm.
fluid motion. Um, just tons of cool stuff coming out with it, and the story is now the superstar story you're going to focus around is Rey Mysterio and his legacy. So he had probably one of the best legacies out there outside of the Undertaker and some others, but really cool. Really looking towards that one personally.
His legacy is insane. If you look more at his stuff that he did independently and uh, Mexico and stuff like that, it gets a lot crazier. His WCW days were insane. On top of his ECW, I think his WWE WF runs were lackluster.
They weren't as good, but keep in mind they
Oh,
also went from Attitude Era where they could say whatever, do whatever, and now they went into a PG family friendly, and now we're at a PG, maybe PG-13
oh God,
type era.
it's.
So
Do you actually watch it now?
yeah, I don't
Okay.
watch it live. I watch it on like Hulu because I don't
Okay.
have live TV.
All right, so we catch it every now and then, and it's just the storylines are
Trash.
not there.
There's
Stuff.
some trash. Like I like Roman Reigns storyline right now where they're making him out to just be this beast.
Mm.
I think it's about time they have somebody come out and actually put somebody similar to Brock Lesnar of being a beast and just be able to wipe the floor with everybody. But they've also burned so many good superstars in that storyline and bumped people who should be up there with them to now mid and low tier cards.
I mean, they have came out and said they're not going to push a superstar anymore. They don't want it to be about the superstars.
Well, they can say
They've
that all
pushed
they
that away
want,
from that.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter when you see like Braun Strowman should have been a powerhouse and he should have been an A-lister. He should have been the one that held on to the champion for so long, and they made him win to Goldberg, I think is what that match was, and then he got beat by in a triple threat match against Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, and then Roman Reigns comes back and he wins the title. Like, I don't like how they put the title on him, but I also think Vince McMahon needs to shut the fuck up and step down. He's too old. So
You got a grasp on everything. Do you watch AEW?
when I can, I watch a lot of it on their Dark series on YouTube because it's not on any streaming platform like HBO or Hulu. So
No, it's not.
no,
They have a
sad.
crazy roster
Oh,
and tons
they have
of
a
talent.
stacked roster.
And it's because they're just picking up everybody that that WWE's dropping.
Yeah, and they just bought Ring of Honor this week.
Hmm.
So I'm excited to see
I mean,
that.
it's insane, and there's so much stuff that goes on as far as the wrestling world and how big it's getting. 'Cause I know just around here, the independent circuit is nuts. It's getting huge.
I mean, you have ECW or EC3, sorry, EC3 and the guy like Adam Schafer, Braun Strowman, have now started their own wrestling circuit, and they're going to be doing live shows here in a matter of months. So, and they're trying to recruit possibly even Paul Heyman to come out and like help shoot a couple episodes, and they're going to be on a streaming platform. You have New Japan Wrestling is now it was a big deal, but if you were not inside,
You have to know about it,
yeah. Unless like AEW thankfully brought that along. It's like New Japan Wrestling. You're like, oh, hold on,
Mm-hmm.
let me find more of this out. But I
A
think
New
Chris
Japan was
Jericho.
insane.
Oh, it still is. A lot of their matches are crazy, but that's a whole different culture.
Hmm?
I watched an interview actually with Chris Jericho where he's talking about New Japan versus everywhere else, and he's like, over in Japan, it is a no shit around type situation where everyone's dead quiet in the match. Nobody talks. Nobody's clapping, hooping, and hollering. The audience is quiet, and that's because they respect it. They respect the work. They respect the program. They respect the people. And here it's very much more of a sitcom or a drama show.
Yeah. They
So
want the storyline.
yeah,
They want the dramatics.
and
And it's a show for everybody.
yeah, and I mean that's kind of the catch 22. I think it's funny though. Like if you ever listen to them talk about their demographics, they're always talking about 18 to 35-year-olds,
Hmm?
specifically between AEW and WWE. And then you're like, well, hold on. If it's between 18 and 35-year-olds, why are you garnering more of your production to the younger crowd? Why are we making this PG and G? Why are we not going back to a quote attitude era where people can come out and say shit, damn, crap, hell, and all that instead of being like, ooh, walk the wire, walk the wire.
I don't know if they have the right talent to do it though anymore. There's
They
not
they
many guys can cut promos anymore.
no, that's true. I think they could, but I also think a lot of the guys are way too scripted, way too script
Hmm?
heavy, where they're relying on these people to memorize everything rather than The Rock and Steve Austin could literally just go out there and like, have at it, say what you want. And now it's like,
Hmm?
nope, don't mention that. You can't do this. Don't say that. Read this script. And then they go against people like Roman Reigns, who's allowed to go off script, but they can't. So then you have a scripted person trying to somewhat stay on script against somebody who's gonna go off script. Like it's it's
I
weird, and
get
it's definitely
it
you can
does.
notice it when you watch it. You're like, oh, hold on, what's going on?
It's uncomfortable. Yeah,
Yep.
it's very uncomfortable.
All
There's a lot. I
right.
mean, yeah, a lot of things.
Wow, so much, so much. We'll actually do like a whole fucking segment about just wrestling. I keep this in an hour. Who's getting cold?
See what we can do.
We'll see. All right, so let's go into let's just talk about the two big mergers we've kind of already talked about earlier on. Activision Blizzard being bought out and merged with Microsoft, and then Bungie buying out Sony buying out Bungie, which is Destiny. That's their only game. Is Destiny.
That's all they have.
Well, yeah, and you see the amount of people who are clamoring and being like excited. And they're like, "Yeah, Sony bought Halo." No, 343 owns Halo. No, Bungie. No, no. Don't quote me on this shit, okay? I was there when Halo was conceived. Shut your mouth and sit down. I mean,
If you look up Bungie though, it shows like Evolve Combat, Halo Reach, and Halo 3.
well, yeah, that's because that's what Bungie originally was the creator of Halo.
Okay.
But then they stepped away completely, and when Halo went off the grid, they no longer did it, and then 343 picked it up. So Microsoft still owns all rights to Halo because Bungie forfeited all that when they stopped producing it and stopped being the studio because it was never supposed to
Okay.
be revived again. So yeah, there's merits, but it's at the same time like when people make that comment, it's like, well, do you know the story of Halo? Like, do you know the whole like who works on it? Because it was Bungie and 343 and somebody else, and then Bungie kind of like they decided no more Halo, so they stopped. Bungie was more invested in Destiny 2 or Destiny. So
Mhm.
and then you
Does
have
343 on the back catalog?
I think Microsoft legally owns the back catalog,
Okay.
but since 343 is owned by Microsoft, it's like that fine area, from my understanding.
An
Um,
umbrella.
yeah, kind of like what I'm doing. So and then you have Activision being bought out by Microsoft, which I think was such a genius move. It was either going to be
It's a big
Activision,
buy.
yes, but here's the alternative. I think Activision was going to go under. Unfortunately, I think Activision was going to go under in the next couple years because they're not producing content at all. The only saving grace for Activision is the fact that Blizzard is a part of them, and you have World of Warcraft, you have Hearthstone, you have Overwatch, you have Diablo series, and those are great games. They're replayable no matter what. But Activision's personal content sucks, and it's sucked for a decade plus now. It's not.
Has this gone downhill a lot?
Yeah, and then you have, and we won't get into it because I don't really want to talk about it too much. But then you have all the allegations against the CEO of Activision, and that
Ferg? Or Kodak? Which one is it?
I believe Kodak, the fatter one.
Kodak, Bobby Kodak.
Yeah, he has allegations against them, and Microsoft was not privy to this at all until like a week or two after the meeting back in November, and then they go, we may not be working together at all because they were working on a partnership, and then a few weeks after that, found out Microsoft made them an offer. So it's one of those things like they weren't running their industry properly, and they were having so many developers being underpaid, understaffed, overworked like crazy. They weren't allowing any union of any sort to come in and help them, and they were so many allegations, so many fucking allegations. It's a laundry list, and you can actually see Phil Spencer talk about it in one of his interviews when asked about Kodak, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it too much, but we're going to handle it, and he will not be a part of the Microsoft team at all. And they're letting go of all those CEOs, COOs, CFOs, and all of them. They're not coming over to Microsoft. They're wiped. Microsoft's taking over. So I think it's what's needed. And then you have Phil Spencer, who stated in February, said that he even wants Call of Duty to stop being a yearly game. He wants to go back to the times of every other year or every few years, so where the developers can actually spend time perfecting their craft, and it doesn't have glitches and bugs and all this shitty play day 1 to day 60. And then everybody's like, well, fuck this, I don't want it anymore.
No, that's the same. I think a lot of the games nowadays, like a lot of the newer ones, are being rushed out because the demand of them. I think Elden Ring was rushed out.
Yeah.
All the bugs that they have in that one. I think if they'd have waited a little bit.
Cyberpunk was rushed. That was 100%. That was 100% consumer responsibility right there. Too many people were bitching and complaining that they were taking too long to release, and they were taking too many setbacks and postponing the game more and more and more. And they were the developers, CD Projekt Red, was getting like death threats and all these just horrible shit sent to them over a fucking game.
How you gonna do that over a game?
And then the game gets released. I think it was released like 3 to 6 months early because they wanted to push back to the end of 2021 or 2020. 2021, yeah, because it was only supposed to have released this past Christmas. And then everybody's like, "Oh, the game sucks. It's not ready for PS5. It sucks for PS4." It's your fault, dumbass. Like,
you want to bitch and complain because your game is not out, then it's just a whole nother level. If you're actually going to go to social media and complain about it and then throw out death threats over a video game.
Yeah, going to social media is one thing. Whatever, bitch and moan, whatever you want. But going to the death threat levels, like you're a piece of shit. Like that's just my personal thought. If you're making death threats over a fucking video game, you're a piece of shit.
Give me my game, or I'm going to come kill you now.
There was one that's like one of the developers got his entire family got threatened, and they leaked his IP address where you could find out where he lived. They knew who CD Projekt Red CEO was to the T, like what car he drove, schedule, just weird, creepy shit. Like, bro, come on.
That's a little too far. It's extreme.
Just so terrible.
Way too extreme.
People suck ass. That's why I have such a hard time. Go ahead.
I think with the merger and everything happening, though, I think there's nothing but things to come in the future for the label that's underneath that. I mean, I mean,
cares?
it's yeah, nothing but good thing. I think Warzone or Call of Duty, however you look at it, is in a beneficial spot to one fix the issues that they're having and roll out better content in the future.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna talk about Warzone a lot because that's the main game that I play. But with a
Yeah.
lot of things in the future, I think World of Warcraft even has a lot more things. I think that was a thing kind of fell on its face from what I heard.
Yeah, the
The new
last
stuff came
DLCs.
out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's nothing but good things for it coming up.
Well, you saw they were talking possibly. I know Blizzard's been trying to push WoW to consoles for years now. Just has never figured out how to do it properly. Because playing like Diablo on console is drastically different than playing Diablo on PC. Because you only have 8 buttons, technically 4, but you can switch in between 2 sets of them. So it'd be hard to make World of Warcraft on console. But Microsoft wants that, and they're pushing for it very hard. They said we're going to make it happen because it just makes sense. And I hope with Microsoft having this killer Game Pass for PC and Microsoft, or PC and Xbox, I see Activision and Blizzard being thrown into that umbrella, and so many more people are playing World of Warcraft because it goes from paying a subscription for World of Warcraft and Game Pass to just pay for Game Pass, and it will go up in cost, and rightfully so. Game Pass will go up in cost.
I think it's gonna have to.
So, well, I mean, they're losing money right now on Game Pass.
Hmm?
There was a financial report that Game Pass alone is costing Microsoft money, but Microsoft makes almost everything. So I mean, they can hemorrhage money like crazy on Game Pass, and I think one financial guru was looking at it, and they said they could hemorrhage for the next 20 to 30 years and still be hella profitable, still be a multi-billion-dollar company for 20 to 30 years to just say $15 for Game Pass. Like it's
Yeah, I
killing
mean,
you. PlayStation can't do that. They don't have anything to fall back on. They barely make TVs anymore. They used to make hella great computers, and they stopped that too. So
I think I've got 2 Vios sitting underneath the table right now to keep them stable.
the Vios were great when they came out, but they lost support from Sony and they trashed. So all right, let's wrap this up though with let's do top 5, just top 5 favorite movies. That's how we'll close this out. Top 5 favorite movies of just all time.
Okay.
And let's wrap this episode up. So I will let you go first because you chose movies.
All right, I'll take the first one then. All right, so my
What's your
number 5. I'll start at the bottom. Number 5. Growing up, this is one of the movies that we just kind of would catch randomly. The Pest. John Leguizamo. It's just one that still today you put it on and it just you don't have to think you're watching something that
We grew up with this.
you don't have to think. It's just it's there. It's a great movie. I don't know. It just the way that it's made and the comedy to it. It's just so easy to watch and you just lose yourself in it.
So I think I've watched Pest probably like 2 3 times. And I was just like, whatever. Whatever. But number 5, I'm gonna get so much shit for this. I know I will. My number 5 has to, like for me is the original Mortal Kombat. Back then it was great. Watching it now, you're like, oh my god, this is cheesy. This is so bad graphics. But it's still to the point where you're like, it's still a good movie though. Like, it needs a beef.
It's definitely not. It's way better than the new one. I will say it. It's better than the new one. I hated the new one.
Really? I
hated the new
I
one.
didn't hate the new one, but if you have any appreciation for Mortal Kombat, like not appreciation, that's the wrong word. If you are a fanboy of Mortal Kombat, like I am, even where like I have all the games, I have all the series, I love them all, play them all, have them all, whatever. I went to that movie going, it's gonna be shit. It's not a bad movie, but it has nothing to do with Mortal Kombat prior. It was we're starting something new, and I get where they were going with it because this is gonna be where they're going from now on. So where not only can they do movies off of it, but then they can start doing new comic books off of it, new books off of it, new games off of it, and they can now go off that because Mortal Kombat 11, sure they brought back old characters with the multiverse essentially. You destroy the fabric of time. Now there's multiverses happening everywhere. Cool, whatever. I think that's overdone now thanks to Marvel. They do it better. Just let them have it. But I mean, I still enjoy. I will still watch Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. Like I will still watch that probably every month, every other month, just because I'm like, that's a good movie. Press play. If no one's here, it's fine. Shit at me all you
All right,
want. I don't give a shit.
my number 4. This is the end.
It's
It's Rogan,
the
Danny McBride.
I don't
Like,
watch
I
Seth
mean,
Rogen's stuff too much.
oh,
So
it's one of those movies
Sorry.
again. No, it's he's an acquired taste, I guess,
Yep.
most. But that movie it's not just him; it's just everybody in that movie. I mean, the whole idea with the end of the world, the way that it's done, uh, some of this, it's a quotable movie. I mean, being in the military, having a quotable movie was like your easiest pastime during
Yeah.
deployment.
Yeah.
I mean, you go around and you would quote the most random shit, went through everything, and just having that type of movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's easily quotable
That's fair.
the entire movie.
I will give you that. I mean, I've heard a lot of people who will quote it, especially in the military, and I'm just like, What? They had to fill me in. I was like, I'm sorry, if you had to fill me in on a joke, it's not funny. Sure, I'm
And
educated.
difference between Marine and Air Force. That's the difference.
I'm not. There's certain actors I don't give a shit about. Like, they make a movie, I'm just like, whatever. I'm not gonna watch it.
Oh, I get that too. Yep, I get that too.
So this is probably gonna piss a lot of people off. Like Will Ferrell is one of those people I cannot stand in a movie. I can't. He's funny, I get it, but it's not my cup of tea. I don't find him like he's not one of those guys I enjoy watching by any means. Like I would much rather watch The Rock's Tooth Fairy movie over any Will Ferrell movies. And the Tooth
You didn't
Fairy
like Step
was
Brothers?
trash. No, did not. I watched it. I've seen it several times, but I don't
question a lot of this podcasting going forward right now.
Talladega Night, thought that was stupid too. Anchorman, thought that was hella stupid too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Will Ferrell, and I liked his SNL stuff, but once he went into like the movie, I just like it feels like the same role played over and over and over and over and over, and it's to the point where I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah, he does get pigeonholed. He does pigeonhole himself in a lot of his acting.
But I mean, so does Adam Sandler, but he does that to himself, and that dude's a fucking genius, by the way.
Like his movies also.
Oh, his movies are great, but the fact like all his new movies are Netflix exclusive, and the fact that he's like, I'm gonna take my
Got a fat contract.
I'm gonna take my friends. We're gonna go on a vacation, go shoot a film for 8 days, and we're done, and that's it. And they all get hang out together. He takes his family with him. His friends take their family with them. He gets paid stupid money for 8 days of filming and shooting, and he's done. And most of it's
Stop giving Kevin James movies though. Kevin James movies are garbage. Shit that he keeps coming out with.
Okay, listen. I'm not even on my number 4 yet, but listen. Kevin James, if he's put in the right role, he can have a good movie. But like, put him in that MMA movie, wherever that was.
Here comes the boom.
Yeah, trash. Trash.
Comes the shit show.
But the one where he's a zookeeper, that was funny. Paul Blart was stupid funny, not like amazing funny, just to the point where you're like, oh my god, I want this to happen in real life.
His new portrayal of Sean Payton as the NFL head coach, that is a complete disaster.
Anyway,
I mean, yeah, we can keep. Yeah, I'll reel it back in.
Yeah, my number 4 favorite movie of all time. Honestly, it's a fairly new one, but Red Notice with Gal Gadot, The Rock, and Ryan Reynolds in it.
Enjoyable.
Oh my god, that movie's like, it's funny, it's action packed, it's hilarious. It's just, I watched it the first time. The plot twist I honestly didn't see coming right away. I had premonition that it was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be with Gal Gadot's character. I thought it was going to be someone else, I was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely caught you. Yeah, it's a twist. It was good. It was
Oh,
definitely very good.
such a good movie. But I'm
It's
also a
crazy to
huge
have
Ryan
that.
Reynolds fan, so
He's great in almost anything he does, but do get a bad feeling sometimes that he's going to pigeonhole himself, kind of like what I said about Will Ferrell.
hmm
He has the character in himself that he is always almost the same in a lot of his movies.
hmm Yep.
He has taken it to a different extreme in some of them. I mean, obviously Deadpool. He was
Yeah.
born to play Deadpool.
No,
It's
but
down.
I mean,
Nobody can play Deadpool
he
better than him.
it's definitely like it's the same character but different gradients throughout each movie. It's
Yes.
like what was the other one on Netflix? Underground
Round six.
Underground 7. Yeah, that was a good one. Like,
Was
but
great
it was
too.
very much still same Ryan Reynolds as everything, and the fact that he quotes an Eminem song, and you're like, somebody call him out on this. Yes, they call him out. No, I don't think that is him. No, I don't know what you're talking about. It fits him though.
I mean,
He
yeah,
can work for him for
yeah, it
at
was
least
great.
another a few more years. But if he doesn't break away from it, he'll be the next Will Ferrell.
It could. I hope it doesn't because I really like him as well.
Yep.
He is great.
He'll be back on my list, I promise.
My number three. I'm not the biggest fan of the movies, but the way this movie was done, it's just enjoyable too. I watch it a lot when I stream. I have it on the TV, just kind of off the side. Is Fanboys.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
Uh, it's the whole Star Wars
Yeah.
trail of trying to steal the movie and everything. It's just an enjoyable movie. It's one I've started watching recently. It's okay, but I think it's one of those ones that I always have it on, so that's why I put it
Yeah.
on there. And it came to mind.
No, I got you. I mean, that's fair. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's definitely one of those like I catch myself. It's more background noise, but still one of those like I can play video games and have it going. But then I'm like, hold on, what? Yeah. Oh, we're at this part now. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh shit, I'm playing Apex. 1 second.
yeah. There's just spots in the movie that'll kind of catch you and just
Yeah.
pull you into it. But it's one of those movies that are easygoing and you can have it on the background
Yeah.
and you can just do whatever you're doing.
I will say we're gonna go away from real life to animated because that's just who I am. My like when I think of movies, my
Finding
favorite
Nemo?
movies are like one. No. Wait, did you say Finding Nemo or Little Nemo?
Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Oh, Little Nemo is an anime too. That's right.
So I didn't know it was anime. Okay, so I got a lot of shit for this. Literally just a few months ago. I didn't realize Little Nemo, which it's a movie from the '80s, I think '86. Okay, it was one of the like first animes. I don't know. I grew up watching that, but not on my list. But it's a great movie. It's also like as a kid that fucked with my head so bad, so bad. No, that should have been on my list. No, my number three. It's still animated though. It's Disney, so everybody can fuck off. I don't care. But it's honestly really tied. But Hercules and Aladdin, those two always bounce back and forth, just because story's great, the animation's great, but at the same time, the music is just killer. I there's not a really bad song on that soundtrack for either one of those. So that's just my opinion. Back off, everyone. I don't care if I'm over 30 and liking Disney movies.
Oh, you know what? I think we can do a Disney rating later on too.
Oh, we
That'd
will.
be a decent one to do. We'll do that one. I think that's a good one.
Just
I don't.
Disney,
It's
or are you saying like Disney and Marvel, Disney and Star Wars?
we can break it down. We got thousands of podcasts coming, so everybody's gonna buckle up. It's all coming. Just wait. What was your What you had Hercules? What was the other one you said?
Aladdin. That's like tied
Aladdin,
for
okay, yeah.
number 3.
That's one of my favorites. Aladdin. It's yes. Robin Williams is down best.
He got
voice
screwed
actor
over in
ever.
the second one. The second one would have been so great if Robin Williams was
Yeah.
actually the voice. But
Yes.
disagreements, whatever.
Mhm.
So, what's your
All
number
right, my
two,
number
though?
two. Number two is one movie, and I think a genre that needs to be reprised and brought back correctly, but is Tombstone for Western movies.
Yeah, yeah.
love Western movies, and Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday is one of the best characters, I think, movie wise, in my opinion. Just the way he portrayed him, played him, everything was great
Oh
about
yeah.
that movie.
I think they should definitely bring back those type of westerns, like, especially Tombstone. Like that needs a. I don't want to see a remake or a. Yeah, I just want a brand new one. But
Mm.
like, I think they could kill it with a brand new Tombstone series easily. Just that'd be so cool because we have CGI out the ass now that would make it just look so good, and they don't have to worry about certain aspects of Western
I mean,
movies.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen Yellowstone or not, but just the way that movie, that show's done.
Yep.
I mean, Costner's killing it with that one.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen 1883 yet either with Sam Elliott, but
I heard that one's
I
really
think with
good.
Sam Elliott is awesome.
Let's see, number two. Let's go. Oh damn! Just because I have a tattoo of it and it's still Disney again, but Nightmare Before Christmas. Like that's like every year, every month. My daughter loves that movie too. I have a tattoo of Jack Skellington, and that's just a good movie. Like no matter what, it's a good.
Is it Disney?
Yeah, it's Disney.
Is it? I didn't know.
It's
I didn't know
it's
Tim Burton did Disney.
he does a few. Princess Corpse or Corpse.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. Yeah, that's a Disney one as well. It's Tim Burton. He's done a few of Disney.
Okay.
That's why it's
No, that's a great movie. How do you consider it a Christmas or a Halloween movie? That's a debate we always have in our house. Is it a Halloween or is it a Christmas movie? I know you can say both, obviously.
Yeah, it's like we watch it on both, but I guess it'd technically be Halloween because it's all about Halloween. He starts in Halloween Town. He goes and tries to terrorize and capture Christmas Town, but then he comes back and realizes I'm where I'm meant to be. I'm Halloween.
Because it's the same argument we always have, but the whole premise of it is Christmas. He's
Yes,
trying to steal
but
Christmas, take Christmas.
but you can't say that's the whole premise because the premise is him having an identity issue of not thinking Halloween's it. That's not where he belongs. He should be elsewhere. He should be doing more. And it's all identity crisis. It's a midlife crisis. And then he goes off and he's like, I'm gonna go steal this shit over here. I don't like this shit. Actually, I'm coming back.
Yeah, it just
Halloween
look that movie. That movie's all over the place, and it is a great one. That's a great movie. It's definitely we would definitely watch it Halloween and Christmas, and
Oh,
we
Halloween
watched
comes
it a couple other
around.
times. But yeah,
That movie, especially this last year, that movie was played almost daily from the middle of October all the way through January.
it has great songs too.
Oh yeah.
Soundtrack of that movie is great.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think there's one bad song at all. And I've heard, I know Korn redid "This Is Halloween," and that song is
That
a banger.
their
That song's great.
their version's amazing. I love it.
They're awesome.
What's your number one?
Number one. Okay, this is one that I've watched growing up, and I will watch probably until the day that I die. Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man. Mickey Rourke. That movie is great. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea.
I was like,
It is
what the
a. How do I? What is it? I don't even know how to describe the movie. I mean, it's about a biker,
fuck? Well, clearly,
and
Harley Davidson.
yeah. So I mean, biker and Don Johnson's in it also.
Okay.
I mean, you have two guys they're in their prime at this time making movies, and this is just one of those movies. It's even got a Baldwin in it. But it's just I think it's Alec Baldwin also actually.
Wow.
One is shot making that movie. To think about just the way that movie is, and just it's a great movie. It's got actually there's a wrestler in it too. I think it's Big John Studd. I think that's in it.
Oh, so it's from that era. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's like what year? 91.
Yep.
And I think
Okay.
Big John Studd is in it.
Yep.
He plays he plays a character in it, and yeah, it's just one of those movies that you just enjoy. I don't really know how to describe it. You have to just go and look it up and watch it. It's great.
I probably will. Probably will. Just
I would not watch it, but it's okay.
I'll watch it. I watch a lot of stuff. Every time somebody's like, "You should play this game. You should watch this," like, I'll get around to it. And I have. I've always got around to playing the game or the movie or watching the movie, and then if I absolutely hate it, and that person's like, "What you thought?" Well, I'm not taking your advice on anything, so that was a terrible advice. So I'm just letting you know, if this movie's trash and I watch it,
It's not trash.
I am going to make it be known on here to everyone that Rahgel's suggestions are fucking trash.
It's not true at all. Let's hear your number one, and we'll see what's trash.
Yours compared to my number one? Yours. You kidding me?
You can't say Avatar or anything like that for your number one. That's not fair.
Avatar. That movie, I did not like that movie. I will see the second ones purely out of spite to Amber Heard because she's a twat. So I will see it just to stick it to her and screw with Johnny Depp. I didn't like Avatar. I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. No, my number one.
Into the Caribbean.
No, that's a good one too. I'm mad I didn't put that on.
The Disney movie.
Before
you've got 2 out of your 5, you have 2 Disney movies.
This is technically a third one, so I'll shut up. But it's recently acquired, so it's not Disney yet. But Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool, like I've watched that one on a weekly basis even now. Like since it debuted in theater to now, I have seen that movie well over 1,000 times to the point where like iTunes has kept track, and my iTunes shows I have watched that well over 500 times since purchasing it.
It's one movie that it came out. I think I watched it on Facebook because it got leaked. I saved the link. I watched it in theaters first, but I watched it on Facebook because at home. It's nothing legal. It's only legal to get caught.
It's still illegal. That's like saying I murdered somebody, but I didn't get caught, so I didn't really murder them.
How do you know? You didn't get caught. You can't prove it.
Because they're not around anymore. They're still dead.
Exactly.
The tree falls in the forest. The tree is still down. Whether you heard the damn tree or not, the tree is down.
But you never heard it.
It's still down. We can argue.
You don't know about it though.
We can.
You don't know until you see it.
You're wrong.
You won't know until you see it. Until you catch it falling.
So let's go down this philosophical rabbit hole. How do you know you're dead then? You don't see yourself die.
Well, you never wake up.
But how do you know that? You don't see it.
You don't. Can't.
So are you dead or are you alive? Or do you believe this is the tide of reincarnation, that secretly you're actually just being reborn elsewhere and your body will be seen by you at a later time, but you won't know you're dead until you're reincarnated as somebody else and you go back in the history book to see who you are, your lineage. Yeah,
a lot of words I don't understand. I thought we said no biblical or political talk.
It's not. It's philosophical.
That's just how you portray it. I see it differently.
It's philosophical.
I identify it as biblical. I identify it as biblical. That's how it works nowadays. Whatever I identify it as, that's how it works.
I'm not saying I came back from being freaking Jesus Christ. I'm just saying. I'm gonna touch that subject. Actually, that's just gonna be a really dark rabbit hole. So I was gonna go somewhere net dark with that.
We can go. And we get canceled on the first episode. That's great.
Yes. That's what I strive for. Perfection.
Wait, that was the goal. To the very end. Nobody's gonna make it to the end, so we won't get canceled. There's no way.
That's fine. It's fine. And whoever does make it to the end, I will give you guys 50% off any of my graphic designs if you make it to the end. You tell me what philosophical battle we just had.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah,
your promo code.
No, you just tell me you watch it. We'll be fine. I'll quiz you on it. I don't do promo codes.
Just tell Sig he's wrong.
It'll probably work too. No, but like Deadpool, like it was low budget. It was one of those films like it should not have been as good as it was with the budget they had and the corners they had to cut. Just it was so damn good, and the fact that you had a DMX song in there that fit perfectly to the persona of Deadpool, and you have Ryan Reynolds playing perfection. Like that's my perfect movie.
He was trying to make that movie for how many years?
11.
11. Okay, so I knew it was around 10.
It's
because
11,
he had
13 is an odd number.
Yeah. He had costume rights,
Mhm.
and I know he had a few other things, but he was pushing for that movie forever.
He
And the
was
promos that
trying
he would
to
cut and everything
own.
else.
He was trying to own Deadpool, like the franchise Deadpool. He was trying to own that aspect of it because like Hugh Jackman owns he owns special things about Wolverine. It's his. Same with Patrick Stewart owns certain things about Professor X, and Ian, fucking forgot his last name now, owns aspects of Magneto because they've all played these characters for so long, and they have purchased
Okay.
them. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
I mean, that's a great thing about it is just waiting for the day that Hugh Jackman
he's
is
not.
in.
He's not.
Shut your mouth.
Okay,
You
we
don't know
can't
it.
say not. That's true because
You have to think there's got to be something.
well, I
And
mean, you have to
he'll
now
bite
because
some
Sir
at some point.
Patrick Stewart is supposedly in Multiverse of Madness, whether it's a blimp of a cameo or
Just his
not,
voice.
but or just his voice, whatever.
Yeah.
They could literally have him come over as Cerebro, and just be his voice, and he's in there and could connect him to X-Men. We're gonna have to do that
Yeah,
whole thing.
I got stuck in a loop of that last night of reading about the next multiverse, Doctor Strange multiverse. So
It's gonna be so good.
there's it might be the one of the best ones depending on how it happens and
how it plays
they
out.
introduce because I know there's some introductions of new characters and like that.
Well,
So
you saw the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige have already announced there will not be another Avengers movie. Period.
mhm.
That's done.
And they don't need it.
No, they don't. But this is
They
the time
they
when they
need
need to introduce other
exactly.
factions.
Mhm.
Other factions to properly do it. We will do a whole thing on just fucking Marvel one night. We will.
Do you think? I mean, because we've hit all over the place. We've hit on. I
Everything.
mean, we've hit comic books, we've hit wrestling, we've hit a little bit of anime, video games,
Philosophy.
philosophical lies. We hit other things of.
What the fuck I was saying. Philosophy. There
I mean,
we go.
we hit a lot of different things tonight. I think for the first episode that we've had, it's been fun. It's been great, and I think we have a lot more to come. It's gonna get great.
It's gonna be so crazy, especially if we do this at night and I decide to start drinking.
Yeah. You'd put the Dr Pepper down and try something else.
I'm sorry, I just put my kid down. Okay, I don't have my liquor.
Put him to bed, not put him down.
It's in my bedroom. My bedroom now.
If your kid's down, you put him to bed.
God damn it, my bedroom. I have my fish tank though. Oh, my
It is a
Funko Pop
sweet
that
fish
you can't
tank.
see is 75 gallons. It's a bitch to clean, I'm sure. We'll find out this week. He's
Pressure
got
wash it.
No, you can't do that. God, I've already seen YouTube videos about that. Anyways, I think we're gonna call it a episode. And honestly, y'all, if you stuck around this far, thank you so much. Like we said at the top out, this thing is it's crazy. It's unscripted, it's unguided. Really just talk about random shit for the most part, as you saw. But it's always a good time. I promise you.
Ready for the ride. It's gonna happen.
So just know, tangents are going to happen. Not happen. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. So, but regardless, make sure you do follow us over on social media at Two Guys One Gamepad. Again, except for Twitter, it's Two Gamepads and or Two Gamepads. Sorry, and come check us out. Let us know what you think about this episode, and stay tuned for the latest episode coming up. And make sure to follow and subscribe depending upon what platform you're on. So we do greatly appreciate it. Again, I'm Sig. I enjoy being here with y'all and this grunt to Rahgel.
And I'm Rahgel. Thanks for hanging out. It was fun. Later.
All right, take care, everyone. Till next time.